This is Tuesday, July 16th. There are 8 days until San Diego Comic-Con 2024. Welcome to SDConCast, the official podcast of the San Diego Comic-Con unofficial blog.
VANUHTWE go. Oh my god, I love Live Journal and my Live Journal loves me. Current audience hyperactive, current news, refuge 73. I love the color scheme in pink and purple.
Hello, everybody. I am your host, James Riley, and joining me on the podcast, as always, Carrie Dixon.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for joining us.
And also joining us from the unofficial blog, Erin Tapkin.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so welcome. This is the final countdown, and I don't have the music to play. We'll take your comments and questions during the show. We're basically going to do a bunch of news, and we're going to answer some frequently asked questions and talk about things that a lot of people usually have questions about. If you have questions, you can tweet us at SD_comic_con or use the hashtag SDConCast. We'll also be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat if you wish to comment or ask questions there. So what are we talking about, Carrie?
Well, first, sorry, guys, you know how lo-fi this show is. James, you sounded totally fine before we started. Now, you don't sound very good. Do you agree with that statement, Aaron?
How do I not sound good?
You just sound like you're way too close to the mic. I feel like. Do you agree with that, Aaron?
He is louder than normal, yes.
How's that? Is that better?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so we are talking about San Diego Comic-Con news because San Diego Comic-Con is in a week and a day, and if that does not terrify you, it should. So it terrifies me. Up first, let's talk about the fact that Comic-Con is staying in San Diego for another year. So there's some conflicting reports here. Some outlets, including Forbes, reported that they've extended their contract in San Diego through 2025, but then the San Diego Union Tribune said through 2026, but they also said that they only extended it for 1 year. So I kind of feel like maybe the San Diego Union Tribune just is confused, because if the current contract ended in 2024 and you add 1 year, that's definitely not 2026. But regardless, they're staying in San Diego for at least 1 more year, which is good news. The holdup, as it always is every single time, is that Comic-Con International works very hard to keep hotel rates low for attendees, because if you just let the hotels do what they want, the hotels would definitely charge $1,000 plus a night. And if you don't believe us, you can go look at the On Peak Compass site, because the room block rates are no longer in effect, and all the hotels on there are $700 to $1,200 a night, pretty much. Good times.
Fun.
So Comic-Con works with the San Diego Tourism Authority to get the hotels to agree to locked-in rates. It does unfortunately sound like there may be a hotel rate increase next year. There's always a little bit, but it sounds like it may be more than normal, but we will see. But that's the news.
So we just all keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we just need the hotels to, realize that if the attendees go away entirely, there's no money.
Yeah,
for the
no money coming in whatsoever.
None.
Yeah.
They'll go back to having to charge $99 a night on specials during the week, all summer long, like they do for the rest of the summer.
Yeah. Yep.
So we had some massive news when we got the Deadpool versus Wolverine Hall H panel announced as what the TBA was on the Comic-Con schedule on Thursday. This was a big deal. So we got the announcement from Deadline, including a short interview with Kevin Feige, in which he said something very cool and awesome about Comic-Con, which basically was they plan their release schedule of major Hollywood movies around what they announce in Hall H, which I think was crazy. But what happened is something that is unprecedented at Comic-Con, I think, and that's you had to sign up for a chance to go to the panel. So you have a specific panel lottery. Now, we've had lot panels be lotteries before, and we even have one besides this one this year, which is the Doctor Who podcast is in the Portal lottery. And we've had Balboa theaters and things like that have had that happen, but those were very much smaller audiences. This is Hall H, 6,500 people, and you had to sign up in another site that was linked in the schedule, and hope for a chance to be able to go, and for you and maybe a guest, so 2 people on each entry. And they're gonna clear the room because the last panel ends at 4:30 and this one starts at 6:30, and so they're gonna clear Hall H for this, which again, they never clear rooms between panels.
So I want to talk about this really briefly because we've had so many people who ask. So like they have not quote unquote officially said they're going to clear the room, but there's literally no other way for them to do it. So like they have to, that's why that gap is there. Like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Logistically, that's the only option.
That's the only option. Yeah.
So, I mean, this really, I mean, if you think about it beyond just, hey, 6,500 people are going to get to see this panel who didn't have to sit there through, a day of waiting in line. You also have to think that all the people who are going to be waiting in line for the normal Thursday panels and for the Friday panels, there is now 6,500 people who will be waiting in line for this panel. Where are they going to go?
I feel like it's got to be a situation where like they say you cannot line up before X time, but like I feel like that's going to lead to a bunch of people milling about. I mean,
yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to use the tents in a portion of the tents for this and line them up and not move the people for the next day line until they cycle everyone through for this panel. So they'll be moving them later.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. But I mean, it's still like, well, but at what point, like, can they get under the tents versus the people heading in for the Thursday day panels? Like, who knows?
Yes.
Hopefully they clear all of that up before the con as well.
Right. So the form is closed. It closed earlier today. It does say that those who win the chance to attend will be emailed, and those who lose will not. So if you never receive an email, you can't go. Although, I mean, are they going to have standby just in case? I
don't know. I
right?
mean, again, I really wish Comic-Con would like announce some logistics around this, because there is nothing a Comic-Con attendee loves more than logistics. And I'm not even kidding. So hopefully we get a little bit more information again about how all of this is going to work. And I think there will probably also be a lot of like on the ground reporting from not just us, but like other folks on the ground at Comic-Con next week saying like, well, I was told this, well, I was told this, and we'll all just kind of have to figure it out together.
Yeah. So that's about it for that. I mean, now, the other thing that happened, which Carrie caught, was the panel is listed on the Comic-Con site as 6:30 to 7:30. And in the press release from Marvel, the panel was listed for 6:30 to 9 o'clock. And then was quietly erased to just be starting at 6:30 within an hour or so. So take that as it may be as to what may actually be happening there. And we'll see what happens.
I mean, they've got to screen it. Come on. Like, the fact that they even put 6:30 to 9, everybody had to like sign a waiver that said like they were 18 plus to attend. Like, they're gonna screen it. Come on now.
Yeah. And as far as I saw someone ask a question about when it's going to get an email, no news. Just you're going to get an email sometime.
Yeah.
No date.
You will know because all of a sudden like Twitter and Facebook and everywhere in between like will light up with people being like, well, I got an email. So like you will know when emails start going out. Do not worry about that.
Right.
And I'm hopeful that since they closed it today, maybe that means like we'll hear this week as opposed to next week. That would be
wonderful.
Nice. So
Real quick, B has a question that they said they've never been before. If I go to the Transformers panel, will I be able to go to the SpongeBob panel next? Yes, you stay in the room. They don't clear the room. So you can just say they don't clear the room usually, except for the Deadpool versus Wolverine. So
Yeah,
there you go.
The only exception all week
Just
long.
stay in the room. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yep.
Okay. What's next up on the news? And where did
Okay.
Aaron go?
She had to hop off for a second, so I'm gonna take this next one.
Okay.
So in addition to having their Deadpool and Wolverine panel, Marvel also announced some of their booth activities. So they do signings are back as per usual. Like, we do not have a signing schedule. Will we get a signing schedule before Comic-Con? Who knows? Like, TBD. Will we get exclusives before Comic-Con? TBD, as it is every year with Marvel. But what we do know is that you can go and do activities around the booth. And when you do those activities, you earn a con exclusive pen for doing each one. So there's photos by there's a Deadpool and Wolverine photo op. You can test your skills at a Marvel Rivals game demo. And you can also go to, it sounds like Lego's booth is going to be a Marvel and Lego booth. They let that slip in, which I thought was interesting. Which you can go and explore. The special collaboration between Marvel and Lego showcases life-size scenes crafted by Lego artists and previews upcoming Marvel and Lego kits. So even though Lego has announced absolutely nothing and probably won't until Wednesday night at 9 p.m. like last year, even though the show floor opens at 6, it sounds like that's what's at the Lego booth as well.
And I think it's really cool that they completely redesigned the booth. I mean, that's like, if anything, that's like, hey, that's commitment to keeping and coming back every year.
Yeah.
If it wasn't clear by what Feige said about coming to Hall H, just because that's how they organize their schedule.
Yes. And you will be seeing that quote a lot from us, because for the next 10 years, anytime somebody is like, well, Marvel might be leaving Comic-Con, we're just going to point to Kevin Feige himself saying, we plan our releases around Comic-Con.
So next up is the tastiest news to hit Comic-Con this year, right, Carrie?
Yes, it is. Which is that the convention-centered chocolate is back. They have 4 bars again this year, and for my money, these are at least the prettiest bars they've ever had.
Right?
I think, I think they look so good, and I love the packaging. There's one called First in Line that's all about being first in line at the convention. So they've got First in Line has milk chocolate with puff rice, cinnamon toast crunch, henna coffee, and marshmallows. There's a pirate potion, which is white chocolate, dried pineapple, lime, coconut, and more. And then there is a Sunday, which has milk chocolate, caramel, bananas, strawberries, cherries, and more. And a Moonlight Voyage, which has white chocolate again, dried miso and nutty black sesame and strawberries. And Parks and Cons actually got to pick up the bars yesterday, and they did a video review. So if you want to know how those taste, you can go find that out. And Ed in the chat just asked, are they doing golden tickets this year? Yes, they are. So a couple of the chocolate bars will include a golden ticket. And if you receive that, you can redeem it for $100 Starbucks gift card. And there's only 4 of them.
4. That means that basically they're putting 1 in each flavor, I would think.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Someone's like, First in Line is going to be my choice. And I'm like, your choice isn't all 4?
Yeah, right.
Man, those are so good. And speaking of Parks and Cons, who did the taste test of those chocolates, they have been cranking out a bunch of visual guides on YouTube, and one of them that they did is the on-site visual guide, which was basically just leading you around the convention and where things are. And it's for those of you who have never been before, it's an excellent way to get oriented with where things are at the convention. So again, that's Parks and Cons, and just search for the on-site visual guide for Comic-Con 2024. They have a playlist for all their 2024 guides.
Hello, I'm back.
There.
Sorry, we had mic failure. So the big mic
That's okay.
isn't working, so we're going to go with the little mic. All right, so next we're going to talk about Robert Warners from Legion of Sand on our team. He did a restaurant guide, restaurants around San Diego Comic-Con. He talked to several restaurants that are going to have some awesome sales, awesome specials, special menus, a lot of special drinks, many special drinks. But we've got that on our site. City Tacos, San Diego, the new Hasta Mañana Cantina. There's a whole bunch of them. So make sure you check those out. I got a little hungry looking at it.
So to shift gears for a second, the online exclusives portal is open now through July 18th. But as they do every single year, they make changes, and they added that Doctor Who podcast that we talked about just a minute ago. So if you want to change any of your points, if you did not listen to us and you submitted like first thing and now you kind of have regrets, you can reallocate your points, assuming that it works for you, because it hasn't been for a couple folks. But we have a handy guide up on our site about how you can reallocate your points. So make sure that you follow those step by step. And again, it closes on July 18th. So just make sure you do it before the end.
Like tomorrow. Do it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's a great day.
Before.
It's a good day for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so just wanted to mention that if you didn't hear, we did 2 schedule podcasts over the last few days where we covered the entire schedule from Thursday through Sunday in the larger rooms and talked about room flow and what we thought were going to be the choke points and all that kind of stuff. And so if you want to if you have questions about anything about panels, go listen to those, because they'll cover probably 98% of what you want to know, including questions about wristbands and, where to line up and all those kinds of things. Those are both going to be available on YouTube or in any of the podcast platforms that you prefer.
All right, and we have a guide to the useful apps of Comic-Con. This is obviously going to include the official Comic-Con International app, but that might not be the only app that you want to get ready to have for your trip. You might want the Pronto app if you plan on doing any local traveling, Uber or Lyft. We've got all those links to all those, iOS and Android, on our guide for the useful apps of San Diego Comic-Con.
Absolutely. And another guide that we have is our packing list. So if you have not yet started packing, we do have like a handy little checklist that goes over everything, as well as suggestions for any last minute con essentials that you need to buy. So like a portable charger, a portable fan. If you want a collapsible stool, because you're going to be spending a lot of time in Hall H next week. Air tags. I highly recommend air tags if you are flying. It takes the stress out of wondering if your bag made it onto the plane. I love mine. So go check that out.
Real quick, let's answer a couple of questions. Serenity asks, when do we find out about portal wins? It's usually about 3 days later, roughly. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower.
I think their official answer is like 48 to 72 hours after. So I feel like it's normally about 2 days. So I would guess that we would hear, what's the 20th? Is that Saturday? Yeah, so we might hear Saturday.
Right.
I don't think they'd leave it to Monday.
Now, do they send an email, or does it just change in your portal?
It does both. Yeah. So if you win, you should receive an email, but regardless, you can also log into your member ID. And if you go and you look at your selections, it will tell you, like, I think it says rejected or removed or something, like if you didn't win, or it'll tell you if you won. So.
And then DBS, when can we pick up lanyards and bags? If they have bags, of course, which there should be some bags, whether they're plastic or WB or what, we don't know yet. But when can they pick them up?
We have a guide for that on the site, and it depends on what day badge you have. So
there you go.
Or you can look at Comic-Con. Comic-Con also posted a graphic today as well, so you can also go look at that.
Oh, wear sunglasses, because that graphic, it's bright.
So if you win a lottery, are your points from the other days removed from the pool? No, they are not. Basically, they run each lottery with whoever's in it, and then whoever wins gets sent a note, gets put on the list for those, and then they run the next one, and whoever was in there gets run. They do not remove anything from the lottery as they run it. It's just run with each each set of entries is run, and then they just move to the next one.
So your odds don't get better.
Yeah, so you can lose and win nothing, or if you put 12 different ones on a Saturday to 12 different things, you could conceivably win all 12. It's possible. I mean, it's not likely, but it's mathematically possible, technically, I guess. Anyway, let's get back to things. We have the announced autograph signings page on our site. Johnny is running this and putting all this information in here, and it is a ton of information where we separate out all of the autograph signings that are happening across the convention in random booths and the official ones. We have links to those, right? So there's just tons of stuff and information in there. If you want to find out where people are signing, go look up the San Diego Comic-Con 2024 announced autograph signings post on our site.
And Johnny is updating that pretty much every single day. So even if you've already checked it, you're going to want to check it again. And speaking of autographs, Shaun over Parks and Cons has done an awesome autograph guide and tips. He's going to go through all the different autograph opportunities and what you should do, how you should take your stuff, the differences between the sales ones and the regular booth ones. So that is our San Diego Comic-Con autograph signing prep guide. You'll want to check that out.
And Kim from Outside Comic-Con put together a really nice post on the site. Show your convention badge for San Diego discounts. And it's a list of a bunch of restaurants and museums and attractions that will be giving you a discount if you show your badge when you purchase something there. Most of them are only during the days of Comic-Con. It's usually like around 10-20% off or something like that. Some of them you need a promo code if you're doing it online or in an app. But if you have a badge, you get some discounts, not just being able to go to Comic-Con.
All right. Is that it for our guides?
Yeah, I think that's it for the main news. So let's move on to offsites. All right. Favorite. So downtown San Diego has been getting all wrapped up for Comic-Con because the buildings have started to get their wraps. We have seen wraps already for SpongeBob, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. We saw the AMC wraps today for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, and then it looks like over at the Hilton Gaslamp, I strongly suspect that they will be getting all of Anne Rice's Immortal Universe because it looks like they're putting one up right now for the Talamasca, which has only been announced. Like, it hasn't even filmed anything or done anything or cast anyone. So surely that means that the front of the buildings will be Interview with the Vampire and Mayfair Witches. But there will continue to be more wraps going up. Shaun at Parks and Cons will be back on the ground tomorrow, and we'll keep bringing you those updates.
All right. And we officially got word about the fandom party, one of the most popular, most talked about parties, 7th year that they've had it. They have officially opened up, I guess it's sort of a ticket giveaway. It's on Gleam. You unlock entries by following it on social media or interacting on social media, and that's how you get your entries. I believe it's 23 or 28 total entries. And there are 2 days left to enter that. So if you are interested in maybe getting a ticket to that party, which has special performance by Jason Derulo, you're gonna want to get on that pretty quick. I think they close at 6 p.m. on July 19th. So
that's a few days away. You got time. Yeah. Again, you got time.
No, you don't have time. Don't have time for any of this.
Okay, so we also have happening out at the Rady Shell behind the convention center. We have a couple of concerts from Crunchyroll. The first one is the One Piece 25th Anniversary Symphony Voyage. That will be happening on Saturday. It is free, live outdoor experience at the Rady Shell. It's a 90-minute concert that will start at 7 p.m. with doors open at 5 with a bunch of activations around that you can do, including the Gum Gum Punch Challenge. You can snap a photo with Nami and tickle the ivories with Brooke and his piano. You are welcome to line up beginning at 4 p.m. And also on Friday, there is the Lisa concert, also sponsored by Crunchyroll, in her first concert in the U.S. in 10 years, also free to San Diego Comic-Con badge holders. And lineup begins at 4 and doors open at 5.
Okay, so let's talk about Peacocks, Those About to Die. They are taking over the traditional Peacock and NBC spot over by Baja Ricks. And they are doing what the Circus Maximus, which is basically where you will get to race a chariot. It is a fan-powered chariot race. And I'm going to be real honest. I am so curious about this because I just feel like I can't picture it in my mind.
Nope, not at all.
I know. I feel like I have like no idea what this is going to look like, but I think that's exciting.
Yes.
So I am so curious to see how the heck this is going to work. And we will let you guys know because we are going to do it on Thursday. So we will share some updates about that. But one of the other coolest things about this is that because the Olympics are during Comic-Con on Friday, July 26th. So if you haven't seen already, over in that space, they now have this giant screen. It's like 20 feet by 30 feet digital billboard. So it's like, what do you do with that in ancient Rome? So because the Olympics are on during the convention, they will be on Friday showing the Olympics, and they're going to have a live event where they bring out a band clad in ancient Roman clothing, and they'll do a parade through the gas lamp where they play like Olympic themed music. And it just sounds really cool. And I think that's a really special way to utilize that space. I have heard that capacity on this is really small, but if you were not able to secure reservations, they will have a standby line.
All right. And we've got, let's talk a little bit about Paramount Plus's The Lodge. Tickets for these have already gone up and have all been taken, but this is an event that they do have a standby line for. This is going to be in the same place that it was last time. They're going to be running Wednesday evening, all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. They announced some of the stuff that you're going to be able to do there, which is creating a custom t-shirt for Star Trek. There's going to be a small ghosts perfumery in there, solving a case for Criminal Minds, some photo ops, a pizza parlor. There's pizza everywhere this year. Ink Master's tattoo parlor. So there's going to be a lot going on. This was a very popular, fun event last year. So I think this year is going to be good too. And like I said, although you can't register for it, they will have a standby line.
Yeah.
All right.
And you never know. It's worth keep checking back, because I think I saw even today, like somebody was able to score a couple tickets from it.
Really?
It's like, so like as people return their tickets, like you never know. And I think Paramount last year also did a restock. So keep checking.
And didn't the standby line it wasn't like an 8-hour thing. It was like a
no
wait, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I kept hearing like 2 hours or so, which by Comic-Con standards is not bad.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have the Adult Swim returning to party at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. There will not be just a lone little box with a flag sitting in the middle of the lawn. They're actually bringing all of their usual stuff. They're having nighttime events. They're going to have a giveaway for the first 1,000 attendees per day. It's going to be open Thursday through Saturday from 1 to 10 p.m. With nightly entertainment starting at 7:30. And let's see, what kind of things are we going to have on Thursday? There'll be the AEW and Adult Swim Battle for the Booty Wrestling Tournament. Friday night will be a screening of the premiere episode of Common Side Effects, Rick and Morty the Anime, Invincible Fight Girl, and Women Wearing Shoulder Pads. There will also be a live drawing session with Smiling Friends co-creators, and they're also going to have some panels inside the convention. But if you want details on what's happening, I think there's a DJ laser set. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. So if you want the details, head to the site and look for the Adult Swim post.
Tickets are still available for XLE Productions Anti-Hero After Party. This is their Thursday party, and they announced their special guests earlier this week. And it is a whole slew of 5 different folks that are all voice actors from X-Men 97. One of the cast members is going to be performing an acoustic set at the show for fans, and the rest of the cast will be appearing on stage to welcome him, and then they'll be hanging out and mingling. Like I said, tickets are still available for this one. And also, tickets are still available for their Legends of Fantasy, and they have announced a special guest for that as well, and that is actor and writer David Dismalshin. You might know him from A Late Night with the Devil recently, or he was also in Suicide Squad, but he is going to be the special guest at the party. And it's going to have, you know, all kinds of 80s fantasy. When I think about it, I think about like Labyrinth and things like that. Those kind of fantasy films. Live entertainment from the Flux Capacitors, of course, and DJ Elliott. So yeah, if you want something, this is their Wednesday night party, so that is something else to do on Wednesday night. Tickets are still available.
All right, and next up we have, I guess technically a surprise offsite of the convention, the Shaun of the Dead immersive pop-up experience for the 20-year anniversary, and this is going to be a recreation of the Winchester. And it's going to be at 520 Fifth Avenue from Thursday through Saturday from 12 to 6 and Sunday from 12 to 4. The Focus Features insiders supposedly got an email earlier today to go join, but that was a bit of a mess. The regular reservation sale time is tomorrow, the 17th at 8 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, I expect that it will go very fast because this seems to be something that a lot of people want to go to. It says that you have to be 21 plus to drink the beer, of course, but it doesn't say whether or not only 21 plus can go, which I don't think it will be. I think it's just to get the alcohol. But they're going to have exclusive merch, game demos, giveaways, and more, and you'll be able to play the Shaun of the Dead inspired level of the upcoming Funko Fusion game.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm also very excited about the Abbott Elementary offsite. They are bringing the Ava Fest to San Diego Comic-Con. This is going to be back behind the convention center, sort of off at the pier. It's called Fifth Avenue Landing. We got some pictures and some details about what's going to be going on there, and some of the prizes that you could win. So there's going to be games like Mr. Johnson's Closet of Curiosities, Gregory's Garden Goofballs, and it says a Principal Ava inspired swing ride. So I'm very curious about that. But it's called, they're calling it an unhinged carnival attraction. This is going to be taking place Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You do not need a badge for this. You can just go on back and get in on the carnival.
Absolutely. So one of the most surprising things this year is that Doctor Who and Star Trek are teaming up. They are teaming up for Intergalactical Friendship Day, the first inaugural, and they will be at the convention with a panel, but then they are also doing an offsite. It will be at 235th Avenue in the Gas Lamp, and it will be basically a gallery experience. So they will have costumes and props from both franchises highlighting themes of friendship. And my favorite part is that they will have friendship bracelet giveaways. So look, guys, even Doctor Who and Star Trek are doing friendship bracelets. Even they know this is the year of friendship bracelets. Like, I am validated. So that sounds really fun. I'm going to try to stop by. Hopefully the line isn't crazy, but I think that sounds really cool.
And we have the return of Hulu's Anna Mayhem to the spot behind the convention center where they were last year. This one is going to be basically just a revamped version of what they did last year with some new stuff. You're going to be able to go inside one of the factories from, what is it, the Slurm factory or something like that. I mean, yeah, the Slurm factory, a nostalgic cutaway land storage celebrating 25 years of Family Guy. There's going to be photo ops. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. It's going to be open from 11:30 to 7 on Thursday, and then from 9:30 to 7 on Friday and Saturday, and 9:30 to 5 on Sunday. And of course, there will be, I'm pretty sure, some pretty cool things that they're going to be giving away like they did last year. But if you are a fan of Animayhem, this is where you want to be.
I highly recommend that one based on last year, but I also recommend like definitely going with a group of people or with like one other person, because there's several fun like photo opportunities. And I think you're going to want to have somebody else there to kind of get the perspective right and get some really cool shots.
So the Petco Interactive Zone will be returning. And we don't know much about what's going to be over there, but one thing that we do know of is, if you've been following along with our Under the Tent section, the Oatmeal has been building this giant, it is apparently 21 feet tall, cat statue. And as we found out earlier this week, time has no meaning anymore, it is also flame bearing. Which
on the
is
on the arms. It's the arms, yeah, right?
It's gotta be.
And it's gotta be. It's posing like Elmo.
Like
the Elmo fire meme. Yeah. So it's posing like
that's exactly what it is. So this is for Exploding Kittens, which is a game and a comic, and now it will be a Netflix TV show. So you can hop on over to the Petco Interactive Zone to test out to do this. They will also be giving away plushies on site, as well as games you can play along with the show at home. And I don't know, I love wacky stuff, and I think this looks really cool. Like, good job, guys.
Yep.
It's also wild to me that like this is a Netflix show, but the Oatmeal has been like, I feel like, building this themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm so confused.
Yep. They were definitely hands-on with it. It seemed like based on
like, was Netflix like, here's $100, good luck.
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Snoopy Offsite again this year. They usually have some sort of cute little boutique. They are doing a themed pop-up shop in the Gaslamp District. This is at 200 J Street. They're going to be open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. You can also, they're going to have a little area there where you can like watch episodes of Camp Snoopy's. So it might be like, maybe it's a good place to like take a break, take the kids, and they'll have some exclusive merchandise. We don't know yet. I think if the merchandise is different than the merchandise that they're going to have at the convention center, remains to be seen.
Yeah. Yes, they have not really specified, and I keep hoping that they will. I was hoping we might get an update today, but hopefully we'll learn more here pretty soon.
All right, next up we have the Penguin, and we know they have a Hall H panel, but there's also going to be an offsite. It is only running on Friday and Saturday. It is going to be the Iceberg Lounge, and it's happening at the Bloom Nightclub. It's an immersive experience. Feature an iceberg descent and navigate through the wreckage left by the Riddler at the end of the Batman film. You'll be able to go in and basically hang out in the club and maybe be inducted into the Penguin's inner circle. So there's going to be like a room within a room that you can go and maybe earn your way into. There's going to be complimentary drinks, live DJ sets, and exclusive giveaways, including Jefferson's bourbon tasting, photo ops, including Oz's iconic purple Maserati, which will probably be parked outside because I don't think they'll be able to fit it in the nightclub. So you can register, or you can get there for one of three ways. First up, you can register on 1iota. We have the link on our site. As far as we know, there has been no one has won their way in yet that we have heard. The other way is there will be participating locations you will be able to go around, and they're serving Gotham themed items and you will have exclusive chances to gain entry into the Iceberg Lounge. And those places are Gaslamp Pizza, The Butcher's Cut, Osteria Panavino, and Prohibition 1920, all on Fifth Avenue, and all on specific days and times. So check out the site for those days and times. And then from Thursday through Sunday, the Gotham Ice Truck will be located somewhere downtown that is offering free slush puppies and a QR code, providing a chance to receive an invite to the lounge. The ice cream truck will be open from Thursday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's fun.
That's going to be my first stop. I'm going to be getting some ice cream, some slushies.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm going to live on those the whole weekend.
That's going to be fun, though. I mean, actually, I really like that there's 3 different ways to win your way in. That's really cool.
That's very smart.
I think so too. Yeah. Yes. I think this sounds like it has the potential to be like the offsite of the week. And I know Giant Spoon is involved, and they are a phenomenal company. So very curious about this one.
All right. We also have enter the Forbidden Zone with the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. They are setting up a Forbidden Zone. This is going to be over at the San Diego Wine and Culinary Center, which is at 200 West Harbor Drive. That's going to be across the street and just a little ways down. They're going to have an exhibition. They're going to have with costumes, props, comics, a whole bunch more stuff is going to be there on display. They're open Thursday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, except on Sunday they're going to close at 2. They're also going to have one signing on Friday with a steelbook artist.
And then it's weird. We actually have not gotten official confirmation yet, but we've seen both the exterior and the interior of Sonic the Hedgehog, the Sonic Speed Cafe, which is very clearly back in the same location.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, signage is up. The inside looks 95% complete. Employees told Shaun they were like, we might be open, but they weren't
even sure if they were open yet.
So I don't know. I've been talking to the company and I'm very confused about like why we don't have an official announcement yet, but hopefully we do very soon, because again, it's literally already there.
Yeah.
I think we'll know that they're open when like we see a tweet of somebody's giant chili dog that they've bought.
Yes.
That'll be our first indication.
All right. And a new one we got today is Google Play is teaming up with Marvel Champions for an offsite, a Wheel of Champions, aka a Ferris wheel. There will be exclusive Marvel collectibles and more. And while we don't know exactly how you can get access, if you are a Silver Plus member of Google Play, you will be able to get VIP access. And from what we understand, some people are having issues with that. So I'm guessing that if you are having issues, then wherever you can sign up, which we have a link on the site, hopefully there is some help buttons to try and get some help from them about it.
Yeah, for sure. And then I also wanted to mention that Voodoo Ranger. So we've talked about before on this podcast that the pirate ship is in fact back, but you can enter to win a VIP pack, which includes front of, like, you get to skip the line, and it includes a prize pack, and you only have a couple more days to enter. You have through July 21st to enter, so go ahead and get those entries in if you have not already.
And Lord of the Rings of Power coming back. And of course, we know that they've got a Hall H panel on Friday, but also on Friday, fans can join a meet and greet over at Venue 808. This is in conjunction with the OneRing.net. They're also going to have props and wardrobe from the second season. As of right now, there's no word yet of how tickets are going to be distributed or how you're going to be able to get them or what. But we're going to keep our ear out for that one. I think is that it for offsites?
Yeah,
well,
I mean, we've got Yes, we have a
Technically.
ton more offsites.
Yeah.
And I just want to say real quick, okay, so I know that like unfortunately this time of year, like it's both awesome and it's also disappointing because like stuff sells out so freaking fast. And again, as a reminder, Shaun of the Dead still has public tickets tomorrow, like hopefully, and I don't know the answer, hopefully they only release like a small amount today. I know that it's disappointing because not all this stuff can accommodate everybody, but don't forget a lot of this stuff, almost all of it, will have a standby line. So if something is your like number one, I want to do this, like go check it out. They may have a line. If they don't, they'll for sure tell you, but I would say probably 90% of these will have a standby. And then one offsite like should not make or break your con. There's so much to do at this convention, and guys, like there's stuff not even announced. Like we know of a couple things not announced, and I'm sure there's stuff that we don't know of that's not announced. Like there in the last like 7 days leading up to the convention last year, I feel like almost all of the big offsites were announced. So I think there's absolutely still going to be surprises ahead. And again, I don't think like don't get too disheartened if you were not able to score tickets to whatever thing you want. Like all of those are limited by design. And again, there's so much more to Comic-Con. And honestly, just very personally, like I love offsites. I do, but I kind of hate this culture that's popped up around like I just want to like get the tickets to anything and everything. So like don't do that, please, for the love of God. Doing that is the reason that like a lot of this stuff is in fact no longer a first come first serve in the lottery. Just saying.
You speak the truth.
Yeah.
Are we ready for
Okay,
exclusives?
Yeah, I've done my little spiel.
We get to start with 100% soft, don't we? One of my favorites. Truck Torrance over 100% soft has unveiled a whole slew of his very popular Marvel emoji pins. You can see them all here. We've got Chimichanga Rat from Deadpool. There's an amazing Captain America Howling Commandos one. Goose. There is a Black Widow Cries in Peanut Butter Sandwich. There's a whole set of X-Men 97 ones, including 16-Bit Jubilee and Nightcrawler, which I absolutely love. Very fun Loki ones. Miss Minutes is there. Mobius is there. So yeah, those are super fun. And then for some of their very popular dumpsters, because this is the year of Deadpool, the summer of Deadpool, there's two different Deadpool dumpsters. There is the white one, which is the X-Force edition. And then there is the red one, which is just the standard Deadpool dumpster. The white one is a convention exclusive one. So if that's the one you have your eye on, you're only going to be able to get it at the convention. And you can the best chance to getting that is to enter for a time slot in the portal, which of course is you still have a few more days to do. The red Deadpool one, that one is kind of making its debut. It will eventually make it online. The blue dumpster that's the Dumpster Stump Twilight Edition. That is the one where 100% Soft and Chris Lee from The Beast is Back, they have created this one together. It's covered in foliage. There's a beetle on it, a mushroom, and it's all in like twilight colors, beautiful purples and blues. So I'm super excited about these. Dumpsters, I think the Deadpool ones are $30 and then the Dumpster Stump is $40. Most of the pins are going to run $10. There's a few of them, the larger ones like the Howling Commandos one and the Sentinel one, those are going to run $14.
Yes. So artist Joey Spiotto has two exclusives this year, which are freaking adorable. So he does these storytime prints, which are based kind of on the little golden books that you probably read as a child, in which he basically reimagines pop culture things as children's stories. He's got two exclusives this year. The first is Please Stand By, which is for Fallout. And then he's also got a Wade and Logan, which should be pretty self-explanatory. It's Deadpool and Wolverine, but both of them are freaking adorable. They are $20 each. And then he's also got tons of merch in general at the booth and show specials. Like you can go and get some of his Grumpy Unicorn stuff, where he will have quote unquote extremely limited quantities of his Alien Next Door book and figure. But go say hi.
And then next up, we have UCC Distributing with a few more exclusives, not the massive list that we had last week. This time it's the Funko Pop Kuromi, $20 for a regular exclusive and $49.99 for the Flocked Chase. We have the Funko supersized Naruto Kuruma Majestic Attire Susanoo with special edition sticker for $29.99. And then we have some trading card sticker pack boxes, 24 packs per box at $89.99 each. And there is a little pet shop holographic trading card sticker box. There is a My Little Pony holographic trading card sticker box and a Hello Kitty and Friends holographic trading card sticker pack box. Again, all for $89.99 each.
Yes. And did you mention that Kuromi, this is the first time it will ever be a Funko Pop?
It is.
It is. So that's actually a really big deal.
Yeah.
I'm told.
It is a big deal. It is a big deal. As a Kuromi
Yes.
fan, it's a big deal. She's pretty
That's
cool.
a big deal, folks.
Yes.
It's a
You
big
heard it
deal.
here. You heard it here. UCC,
Oh,
they
and-
are always on the cusp of what's hot and what's cool.
They are. They told me
really
those littlest
are.
pet shop. They told me those littlest pet shop things would be hot, and then I got like 200 emails from people not coming to the convention, being like, "How do I get them?" Thank you for that, UCC.
And reading it now, it says that the Kuromi will not be available on preview night, but will be available for the rest of the show. So just be aware of that if you want it to, don't go over there on preview night if you want to pick it up.
Yep.
And you can get UCC time slots in the portal still,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if you
Yeah.
have booked for Wednesday, you put all your points on Wednesday, but you really want Kuromi, you should probably go switch those over to another day.
Yep.
All right, we've got some really fun stuff from DC. DC is like they're bringing the heat. It's like old time Comic-Con where they're going to have like so much that you can buy. And they showed us some pictures of it. They've got a DC Universe, a Rebirth hoodie. They've got t-shirts for with the new Superman S Shield, Absolute Batman, Joker and Harley, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Creature Commandos. They've got stuff for the things that are going to be coming out in the years to come from the James Gunn's universe. This is your first chance to get some merchandise for those. 4 different hats they're going to have, DC logo, really sweet Batman 89 one. They're going to have a enamel pin or S Shield 3D pin. They're also going to have Batmobile mystery pin boxes. I do love a mystery pin. Batman the Animated Series Supervillains tote. And there in the center, what you're looking at, that big, beautiful red Godzilla and Kong thing, that is something very special that they're doing. Just yesterday, DC opened up their Discord server for the very first time. And if you go and you join their Discord server, and then you visit the booth from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on any of the days, you're going to show them that you're following you're in their server, and then you get this beautiful jock poster. This was for Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, issue number 5. This was a variant cover, and you're going to get a free poster of it. And then we also heard from Tim Sheridan. Legendary Tim Sheridan will be hosting DC's take on a classic slot machine trivia game. This is going to happen at the booth nightly. We don't know the exact time, but this is going to happen Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And at 6 p.m. I'm sorry. We do know the time. Every night at 6 p.m. So can you conjure up 3 jokers and answer the question correctly? You could win some prizes. So everyone loves to win prizes. So check those out. Yes. few more DC exclusives that for the comic fans. It's not all just clothing that they're going to have. They're also going to have some variant covers, including foil covers for All-Star Superman, Batman 150, and Absolute Power. Also, the Creature Commandos one there too. Some of them that they haven't shown, a Batman Beyond, they're going to have a McFarlane action figure variant. On the right-hand side there, you're seeing the Catwoman Legacy Cowl. That is going to be actually a giveaway on the next installment of the physical digital comic titled Catwoman. The Legacy Cowl will be on Thursday. The Candy digital platform, and then they're going to have copies of it, the physical copies of it that you can get at the booth.
And one of those giveaways may just be with us. I don't even think Erin knows that.
No, I didn't.
More stay tuned for more on that.
Yay.
Yes, stay tuned for more on that.
So yeah, right, I mean, it all reminds me of like earlier Comic Cons when DC would have that big booth and they had all types of things for sale, and
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited to have them back.
I am too. I will admit, I was laughing yesterday because like Marvel totally dominated the morning, and then it felt almost like DC was like, yeah, okay, you've got that, but look, we can announce our exclusives on time. Can you do that?
Yeah, more than just two little things, two little pins.
No, no, they cannot.
Nope.
Oh, Marvel,
they
we do love you. All right, let's talk Toddland. So, his Futurama collection has dropped. You can order it now. The deadline for pickup at the convention has passed for the shirts, but you can absolutely still order it for shipping after the convention. But he's got some really fun designs around the convention, as well as everybody knows that "shut up and take my money" meme. He's got one for that. There's pens. There's a whole bunch of really fun stuff. And there's also a 2-pack of pens, which will only be available at the booth. So you can check all that out in the post.
And there's still Toddland stuff we haven't heard about yet, right?
Theoretically.
We hope.
I think Todd hopes too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor Todd. The hardest work, yes, one of the hardest working people we know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our friends over at BB Create, they're going to be at booth 1334. They've got some really fun stuff. The first thing that they're going to be debuting, new hexagon enamel pins with symbols and enamel paint finishes. That's what you see on the left there. Those are going to be $13 each. But they're also offering you a try your luck for $5 to receive. You get a random blind bag one. So again, if you're like me and you like the blind bags, you're going to be very, very happy. They also have an exclusive Death Star in SDCC, which is going to show you, it's got the Death Star looming behind the San Diego Convention Center. That's going to be $15. And then the hometown team gets a little love here with a BB-8 and an SD logo with a saber. That's a two-piece set. That's going to be $15. All of that.
I think they've killed it this year. I think they have such fun stuff. I love that it's tied into the convention center. Yep. Those hexagon pens that they did previous to this, that tied into the con, are great. Yep. It's all just such fun stuff. Good job to BB Create.
Yeah, I love that Death Star pin.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We're often suckers. Said, I was gonna say, we've often said that some of our favorite things are the things that tie in the pop culture fandoms with Comic-Con, and you just marry those and it's perfect. Yeah, perfection.
Absolutely. All right, so artist Patrick Ballesteros is up next. And he's got several items. He's got some new stickers for the convention, which are $4 each or 3 for $10, or he will have sticker sheets for $8 each. He also, over the weekend, launched his annual canvas prints, these are not the normal prints, these are canvas prints, which means that they're more expensive because they're canvas. But he launched his online pre-sale for those. I believe that's still going on. He also announced that his pop-up will be back as per usual on Tuesday. I think it's earlier than normal. It feels earlier than normal without me actually checking it, but it's from 3:30 to 6 at Mnemonic Coffee, which is a new location. So make sure that you check that out. He also announced some desktop mats and some tour posters. And do we have another slide for him by chance?
We do.
Okay. There we go. So this is the one I really wanted to talk about, and not just because I was involved. He is doing the San Diego Bugle, which is a literal newspaper. It's like a tabloid newspaper for the convention, and it's got fake stories, fake ads, all tied into pop culture. He let me help write like the cover story, which was fun. But I actually worked at a newspaper for 8 years, so I think this is freaking awesome. And I think it's really cool. And if you grew up like on newspapers used to be cool, kids.
Yeah.
Like back when they used to have like ads for the movies in them.
Right.
And yeah, like who didn't love looking up the movie times in the newspapers? I think this is awesome. It's $65. It's limited to 250 pieces. It also comes with a print. So you should definitely go check this out because I think it's fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
Rarely do I agree with you, but this time I do.
I know. We never agree.
No, all right. So lightening up just a little bit. We've got Butts on Things. This is artist Brian Cook. He is the creator of Butts on Things, which of course, guess what? Shows you the butts on things and puts butts on things. We've got some super enamel pins that he's going to have, including a Deadpool minifigure and a matching Wolverine minifigure. Those are each, I believe, limited. Yes, limited to 400 each for $14. He will have daily allotments of those. So if you happen to miss out on Thursday, you still have a chance on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And he's got, guess what? Sealed mystery bags, blind bags. These ones are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle butts. So each blind bag is going to include one of 6 possible tushies. And the butt is bigger on the inside. This is the Tardass debut pin. This one is $12.
This is my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just cute.
Yes.
It makes me smile. I like things that, they're a little bit,
yes,
they're clever, little cheeky. They are cheeky, literally cheeky.
This is the literal definition of cheeky.
Yes,
you are correct.
They are.
All right. Next up, we have Funko, which what we're looking at now is all of the shared retailers where you can find these not at Comic-Con. Now, of course, you'll be able to find all of these at Comic-Con until they sell out each day. If you win a lottery, then you will be able to go in and purchase a bunch of these. You'll notice that down there on the bottom right, there are 5 items that are show only. And if you want to get a closer look at some of them, the next slide has a closer look at a few of those, and they are limited to 3, 4, 5,000, something like that of each one. And they're also going to have some T-shirts, and I'm sure they're going to have some other things there. But if you are wanting to get some of these pops from Funko, you're going to have to either enter the lottery and win, or hope that something is left, which there usually is some things left each day, and you have to wait it out when they open the booth to the rest of the standby line sometime in the afternoon.
Or they do partner with shared retailers to launch these on Thursday morning for sale, which is what this little graphic is. The only difference is the sticker. The sticker. So, how much is a sticker worth to you? You have to decide that. But if you really like the pop, that is definitely an option.
Yep.
I mean, if you're gonna open it,
Yeah.
don't worry about the one at Comic-Con. Just find it at a store.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sage advice.
Everyone's like, you open Funkos?
How dare you? All right, so this next one is from my friends at Mutant. Mutant is making their debut here at San Diego Comic-Con. They've all been there before. These are some of the folks that you may have known from another poster company. But these guys are Mutant, and this is their first San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it is from Daniel Danger, and it is for the Fallout property. So this is a 24 by 36 screen printed poster, and it's going to be available starting Wednesday on preview night. It is an edition of 140 copies. And they actually will also have a copy, a different colorway of it, an orangish reddish colorway. That's going to be a timed edition online. So if you want to check out that one, you'll want to check out the Nerdist article that has that, which is linked on our site. But yeah, they're going to have a bunch of stuff. I'm excited. I'm excited to see them. They're at booth 616, so they're going to be way back on the other side of the hall from where you last saw Mondo. Mutant's going to be at 616, and go say hi.
See what cool stuff they're gonna have.
Yeah,
right?
give us some love.
That is all that we're going to show of the exclusives. I will like to point out that I counted, because I put together the outline. And from the last podcast until a few hours ago today, Carrie and the team wrote either updated or wrote new 82 articles for just exclusives. That's crazy.
It's been a week. It's been a week. It's been a wild week.
It's been a very long week.
Mhm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, Carrie, are you gonna not breathe for the next 5 minutes and go through this?
Yeah. Do I get to do my auctioneer bit now? All right. Then Big Pin has announced several of their exclusives so far. Well, actually, they've announced all their exclusives, but they've actually physically shown off exclusives for things like Star Wars, Chainsaw Man, My Hero Academia, and more. Titan, we showed off some of their debuts today for like Doctor Who. Tokidoki never announces anything about their exclusives, but they show you photos. So we've got some photos of their bags. Super 7 has announced, oh my god, what feels like hundreds of exclusives across their shop, and there are 2 pop-ups for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Dungeons and Dragons, Jim, like the list goes on. There's so freaking many. Go check out that post. Scott C has started to show off his prints, including the chef and a few others. Chris Uminga has announced several more items, including he has some really fun metal bookmarks, including one is exclusive to Comic-Con, and it has Paddington like going to Hall H, which is super cute. And then he showed off a print today all about like the TV shows and movies of your youth. Moose Toys showed off a toy today. Their other 2 exclusives are partnerships with Mr. Beast and his Mr. Beast Labs. This one is not, but you can go find that information on the site. They are part of the portal. Chris Mays has been announcing his prints daily. There's lots of really fun ones. Make sure you go check that out. Brandon Kinney, we showed off today. He's got a gorgeous Superman print, which you can also pre-order for booth pickup, as well as some really fun Stitch stickers where he's mashed up as like Hamilton and Peanuts and more. Really dig those. Val Hochberg, we've been showing off her originals. You should absolutely go check out her booth. It's N12 in small press.
No, don't go.
Okay,
don't go.
Go, but after we go. No. That's the rule. Go, but after we go. Becky Cloonan has a print with Coda, correct, Erin?
Mm-hmm. Coda, yes, one with Coda and one variant with Distillery.
There we go. UCC Distributing, we already covered, so I'm going to delete that. Con Rangers has shown off actually all of their exclusives, but they haven't really announced the full details yet. But they've got the sashes are back this year. They've got a patch. They've got like 5 and 10-year patches. Really wish they had a 15-year patch because that's my anniversary this year. Yesterday's has continued to show off items, including their they've got pens and more. They're also doing a Tiki release party, which for Misfits, which you can find information about, and you do not need a reservation for that. If you want the mug, just go and buy the mug. Midnight Dogs make super cute pens. They've shown off 2 so far. Yesterday, they showed off a Wolverine and Deadpool. Today, they showed off one for the Curse. Stan Sakai has Mitsuhiro Arita at his booth this year, which is a really big deal, and they have been showing off tons of exclusives. Arita will also be doing sketches, but Johnny and I on the blog loved this. It was basically like, you just go and you pay and he draws what he wants. Like, it's not so much you requesting something, it's like you get the privilege of just having an original piece from him, which I think is really fun. Konami is doing a Yu-Gi-Oh! Skate Deck series. What's Your Passion Jewelry has some The Walking Dead jewelry that will be at their booth. Alex Ross has had plenty of new prints, including a really nice Superman and Lois, which I thought was really pretty. Priscilla Wilson will be giving away some freebies if you purchase at the booth, so make sure you go check out the post for that. Cryptozoic launched their pre-order for their Golden Goddess, and then they also announced a few other things that they'll have at their booth, so not exclusives, but they'll have like some trading cards and different things like that. Little Shop of Pens has continued to show off some new pens. I'm gonna have to look this one up because I'm like, where did we stop? Slap koozies. Yes, that's right. Little Shop of Pen, they are doing slap koozies, which are really fun. And they also announced another Polly Pocket set. I think this one might even be cuter than the first. Dan Wiesenmeyer, who was a storyboard artist on X-Men, the animated series, has, guess what? X-Men, the animated series prints. And everybody should go and say hi to him and make his convention awesome. Monkey Minion has some really fun prints around the convention this year, as well as new stickers, new pens, and more. Kid Heroes, which is Lupia with a Vengeance, they've been showing off their exclusives across comics. They've got an action figure this year and more. Karen Hallion has some really fun prints that we have been showing off, including she's got a Taylor Swift one, so you know I love that. Distillery, Erin, I'm going to let you talk about that one because you wrote that.
Yeah, Distillery. They've got several really great variant covers. There's a Trad Moore variant cover there. They've also got at least one, maybe 2, maybe they'll end up with 3 of their vinyl toys that they're going to have too. And of course, the previously mentioned Becky Cloonan Somna screen print.
Yes. Hyperactive Monkey has tons of exclusives this year, including they've got like a Sofubi set for DJ Lance Rock, as well as some other items for him. They do collabs with him pretty much every year, which is really cool. $7 a Pop has some really fun exclusives. They've been partnering up with Plastic Empire for some fun little figures. You can check that out on the site. Monogram finished up their reveals. You can find all of those exclusives listed on our site. Sony Television will have a booth, and they will be doing like custom t-shirts for the boys. So go find that information. Martin Sue's online shop launched on Friday. So if you wanted to do booth pickup for any of his like Ted Lasso cats or Bridgerton cats or any of those items, make sure you do that. He's also got a couple freebies. Pokemon is doing a card giveaway at their booth. Be Cute made some super cute t-shirts, pens, plush, and more. IDW Publishing showed off all of their variant covers. Peanuts has some really fun items, including if you're fans of the Con Rangers merit badges, they've got some new Peanuts merit badges again this year from Con Rangers. Atomic Toy Box has been showing off their items, including they've got a toy, they've got some blacklight posters, some really fun items across like Garbage Pail Kids, and I think they showed off a Powerpuff Girls won today. Alex Pardee, we are still waiting, I believe, for his 2 trading cards, but we've seen pretty much the rest of his items. Inside Editions has tons of really fun books, including their Hannibal book is always super popular. They're doing another one this year, which has a pen. They've got a book signed by Stephen King. They've got all kinds of stuff. And aside from the Stephen King, it's also actually incredibly affordable. A lot of it's even like signed. So go check that out. Mondo is back. They are doing both online and virtual releases. It will depend on which poster or which record you want for which is which. So go check out all of that. But they've got things across like Batman, Godzilla, and more. Symbiote Studios announced some new teas for this year. And speaking of teas, Roosevelt's also showed off all of their exclusives. They will have, I believe, 3 booths this year.
3 this year. 2.
Yeah, 3 this year. So they'll have different items at different booths. So you want to go check out that schedule. Plastic Empire, like we said, is teaming up with $7 pop, but they've got several different items. And then Kevin Tong showed off some really fun Fallout posters. So
And
okay,
that's
and there's
it.
I mean, there's even more. Like
I know
on the
that there's
site.
there's tons more. If you check out our UTTs, you'll see dozens and dozens and dozens of more things, including Dave T mentions Terry Moore having a bunch of sketches there. Yep, we've got those in our UTTs. So much stuff. It's an insane amount of stuff.
Yeah, like somebody just mentioned Oni. Like we didn't even mention Oni Press.
Oh, yeah.
Oni Press has exclusives and signings. We didn't talk a lot about signings, but again, like all that is in Johnny's guide. Like there's so much stuff, you guys. Like, and all of it, to the best of our freaking ability, is on the site. So
Okay.
Right. We've
Let's
got
answer
some
some
questions. Yeah.
So Spongy asked a question, and this is kind of a thing that I kind of want to address generally, which is asking how come barely any studios are at Comic-Con this year? Is it because of the strikes last year? There are actually quite a few studios showing up, holding panels, and actually on the show floor, because like Sony Television hasn't been there much at all in the past. Disney's going to be there. Who else is going to be there? Is CBS there this year? Paramount Plus? I mean, there's just going to be a lot of stuff there. It's just kind of moved around because some of the things that we expected to be there are not, like Netflix won't be there and some other things. So stuff's there, moves around, people change. And Carrie mentioned it on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, or during the schedule podcast. I'm not sure which one it was, but basically you talked about how things are changing in Hollywood and people just aren't spending it. They're not spending as much money as they used to for things like Comic-Con.
Yep.
Hollywood is in like huge financial trouble just in general. Like, I mean, seriously, like just Google any of these studios and layoffs or like mergers or any of these things. Like they're all hurting financially, so they just don't have the budget anymore to like do the big splashy kind of stuff and bring everything in the kitchen sink like they used to. They're much more selective about what they bring, but I mean just about every studio is represented in some fashion at Comic-Con this year. It just, again, it's not the heyday of Warner Brothers bringing like 18 shows to the convention. Like,
yeah,
it's not that, but that doesn't mean that Warner Brothers is not there.
Right. And so what they're doing is instead of bringing all of their shows and having a big giant booth and running multiple offsites, they're picking and choosing which ones to do. They're bringing specific shows. They're not doing a booth. They're doing one offsite, whatever it may be. They're being more selective with what they do. So I think there's still plenty of stuff. I think that as we've mentioned, I think that this is going to be the closest we've gotten to pre-pandemic Comic-Con that we've had since 2019. I think it's pretty cool. The question someone asked earlier about how long should you wait in line for Hall H wristbands, we'll mention it again that we cover stuff like that on the panel podcasts that we just did over the weekend and on Friday night. And so if you want to go back and listen to those should give you a lot of the information you need on lining up and what you should do for that kind of stuff.
Serenity asked if we know of any other activations that start on Wednesday. I want to mention that if you visit our site And up at the top, there is a little offsites. And if you go onto that, there's a calendar. You can go on the calendar. If you pick a day, it's going to tell you everything that's going on that we know of on that particular day. So there's stuff that starts before Comic-Con going all the way to the end of Comic-Con, and there's a lot of it. So anything that we know of that's going to be offsite that's starting on a Wednesday is going to be on that calendar.
Yep.
That
Okay,
it for
do we
us?
have-
Are we
yeah.
like wrapping up here? Any last minute questions? This is our final podcast before Comic-Con. And I do want to mention, this is something that I wanted to mention like on the first podcast, but not only is this Carrie's 15-year anniversary of attending Comic-Con, but this is also her 10-year anniversary of working on the blog. So happy anniversary to Carrie. I wish we could have celebrated all season long, but we'll celebrate in person.
We'll celebrate in person. Yes. Yeah, we'll celebrate at Comic-Con. Yeah.
Someone's gonna get Carrie drunk at some point during the con as a celebration.
That someone is gonna be Sarah, but
probably at fandom or something like that, or wherever it may be.
Hopefully not our party, because that would be a long night for you.
Yes.
Don't buy Carrie shots at the party, please.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah, well, on that note, honestly, guys, I just want to say thank you to all of you who tune in every week to this podcast, who read the articles, who follow along on Twitter, who laugh at me posting the Adam Scott gif for the 3000th time. Like, we do this literally like to try to make your convention better. Like, our goal is always, we know that Comic-Con is a very confusing place, and we just want to try to demystify it as much as we can. And we put in a lot of hard work, but it's always worth it because like we just want to help you guys, and we're always so appreciative that you guys give that love right back to us. So
I second that. Yes. Yeah. Ditto.
Isn't it the blog's anniversary too?
The 15th, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
You get a hoodie for the 15th this year, dude. Yeah. You've seen it. You've seen the logo.
And then this would be my 5th anniversary then.
All right.
But only my 3rd Comic-Con with the blog, because
doesn't it feel like more?
This year it does.
Yeah.
So the next week, what can we expect besides a massive amount of news? Things to keep an eye on, some offsites probably that are going to be announced and have registrations that go in 3 seconds or less. I mean, basically, it's just get your stuff ready. Oh, I actually saw someone mention it at MetroLearn, and I forgot to mention it. It is for those of you who are looking for last-minute things that you need, like fans or batteries or whatever. It is currently Amazon Prime Days for today and tomorrow, and that means it's probably a good time to pick up some deals on some supplies you may need for the con.
I bet they have friendship bracelet making kits on sale. I bet they do.
Yeah, go make some last minute friendship bracelets, guys. And go ahead.
I don't know if it's spread around very much, but I think that a lot of smaller companies are kind of glomming on to Amazon Prime Days and doing their own sales at the same time to take advantage of people going around looking for deals. So shop around. You may find some stuff not just on Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, shall we do our housekeeping here?
Slowly but surely, as we maybe get 1 or 2 more questions as we go. So yes, give it a start.
Okay, well, on the note of friendship bracelets, hopefully you have already made some, but if not, I mean, you have a week. You can do a lot in a week. So go make your friendship bracelets. We are going to do some blog friendship bracelet trading meetups where that I'm going to try to do I'm just making these times up. These are not the real times, but one might be Thursday morning, another might be Friday night, so that they're not all at the same time every day. And we'll try to do at least one a day, so that we can have like a designated place to go and meet up. Again, I highly recommend if you got one of the badge ribbons that awesome girl was doing, I think it was Casual Geek. I've got one. Or I've also bought like a carabiner, and I'm gonna put my friendship bracelets on that and put it on my badge so that people can see. Just go up to people and be like, hey, you've got bracelets, like let's trade. But we will post the meetup times here in a couple days. I have to figure out my schedule. The location will probably be around wherever I will be with free time, so it may not be the same location every day, but TBD. Other housekeeping notes: prize mule will of course return. We have so many amazing giveaways for you guys. Like, it is freaking ridiculous, like how much awesome stuff we've got. So we cannot wait to do that with you.
Are there any plush meatballs?
There are no plush meatballs, but there's something better than plush meatballs.
Real meatballs?
True. Real meatballs.
Real meatballs would be better.
That's a great. Yes, James. You guessed it. You spoiler alert.
It
Little
is not
single
real
serve,
meatballs.
one meatball per packages of real meatballs, right?
Yeah, no real meatballs.
Oh.
We have tons of giveaway items. We will also, cups of water will be returning, which is my annual joke for many, many years, was that we were always going to have a party every year, even if it was on a patch of lawn even if it was on a patch of grass, and we gave out cups of water. So that's exactly what we do. One day every year, we stand on a patch of grass and we hand out water. So cups of water will return, which is the dumbest thing we do. It's the dumbest thing we do.
It's great. I did it last year. That last year was my first time. I thought it was great. It's early in the morning, or at least
it's awesome.
We did it early in the morning. It was a great chance to see. It was
we love it.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
It's still dumb.
Yeah. It might be a good time to do bracelets though too.
Oh,
bracelet
there
trading,
you
go. Bracelet trading, and
I have cups of water friendship bracelets. So
it has to happen. Has to happen.
Yeah. So that will.
Tom says not true that we were on concrete last year, and I beg to differ, Tom. The water was on the grass.
Mm-hmm. I was near the water. I know there was grass there. I was almost on it. Yes.
Yeah. So nice try.
I'm gonna make a note here. Make sure we're on grass.
And spoiler alert, it will probably be at the same location.
Yeah.
All right. That about do it.
We've got one more question from Spongy if you're interested. No Borderlands panel this year?
The answer is yes. It has happened. People have come in just for signings.
Yes.
Yeah, they have.
Yep. That's the question, is because Borderlands is coming in for signing supposedly, right? It's in the portal.
I mean, it's in the portal, so I don't think it's supposedly unless it gets canceled. But
right. And there's no panel, but yes, it has happened. I think it was 2018-ish for something at Lionsgate, if I remember correctly, like maybe one of the Hunger Games movies or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember that they did something where there was a signing and there was no panel. But anyway, I think that's about it. So we're going to be back.
Yeah.
Here.
We'll be back.
In 15 days.
Yeah. Afterwards.
With our wrap-up show. We're going to be doing it on the 31st. That's a Wednesday at the normal time of 6:30. And we're going to wrap up Comic-Con, talk about our favorites, our not so favorites, what was awesome, what maybe wasn't so awesome, and look forward to the next year, and then go into Odin Sleep. And we'll be back only for returning and open registration sometime later in the year, and for WonderCon next year, and then we start it all again next May.
Woo!
So there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Don't bring me down.
I said start it all again next.
I know, but I'm thinking about it all being over with. And how sad that
We
will make me.
Don't even think that, girl. We have so much work to do.
We
like,
do.
in the next week. Like, we are not there yet. We are not there yet.
No.
So, yeah.
Iron Souls pointed out that some of us have to delay Odin's sleep to go to D23 2 weeks later. So that's fun. I'm gonna be very very tired.
Yeah. You better make sure you mask up so you don't get sick and miss D23. Don't get con crud or anything else and then miss D23.
Yeah.
I won't miss D23.
No matter what.
No matter
They'll
what.
have to roll you in a bariatric chamber if you get sick.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
We have a newsletter, right? Do we have a newsletter? No more newsletters?
No more newsletter. I am officially done with the newsletter. This last one was like 150 lines long. Yep. Like, we are done.
That's it.
If you want news, like, go to our site.
Yep. Okay. So again, thank you everybody for joining us all season long. We are going to see you guys at Comic-Con in just 8 days. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And Erin, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can find me online at Bavarian Erin, and actually mostly on the blog. It'll be tweeting from the blog, doing the prize mule. Carrie, where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, same. Like, I'm on the blog, Twitter, guys. Like, that's where you'll find me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. James, the only one of us not as much on the blog, Twitter. Where can we find you?
I am everywhere at Dan Riegel, even though I don't really use social media. I'm still there. And you can also find me weekly on the Citizens of Lorcana podcast talking about Disney's new trading card game. And thank you to Beth, our producer, for editing the show, creating the slides, and getting this podcast into your ears.
We are on iTunes. If you'd like to subscribe, the links are up on the blog, or you can search for SDConCast. If you like what you've heard so far, please review us. We are also on Stitcher Radio and Spotify, and the links are in the show notes.
If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at info@sdccblog.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/sdconblog, or tweet us at sd_comic_con. Thank you all for listening, and everybody, go shawarma.
See you next week.